You guys got plans for the night?
Yeah, nothing major, though. I meet up with the fellas, head out to the city.
Why don't you take the train out there?
Fruitvale is about a young man in the Bay Area. It took place in 2008. And it's New Year's Eve, and we kind of watch him go through his day, bumping up against family, friends, strangers, and some enemies as well. And it's all en route to a pretty tragic incident that happens, in the wee hours of New Year's Day. And it's based on the true story of Oscar Grant, who was shot while he was unarmed at the Fruitvale BART station on New Year's Eve in 2009.
And you talked about why, so you were up in the Bay Area when that happened, and talk about how that immediately hit you.
Oh man, so I was there, and Uncle actually got a call from one of my buddies and said, "Hey man, the police just shot somebody, at the BART station. It's looking like he's not gonna make it. You know what I mean? And he died later on that next morning. Pretty much as soon as he passed away, the video footage was available online. So it was available on YouTube and on news reports, and I watched it. And I mean, the footage was on cell phone cameras from 2008, so it was kind of grainy. So all you could kind of make out is that he was a young black dude, wearing the kind of clothes that we all wore. So it was kind of like watching something happen to yourself, or to your friends, or to your brother that you know. And it was something horrific. So it terrified me, angered me.
And how did the connection between you and Forest, how did that happen?
Oh man.
No, I mean, Ryan came in to the company, to the office at Significant, and he met Nina and Lee, and they talked. And so then they suggested that I sit down with him. I looked at his film, Fig, which is a really great short film, this amazing film. And then we just discussed what he wanted to do, what stories he wanted to tell. And he said a few. And then he told me about this Oscar Grant story and Fruitvale, and then just decided right there, let's just make this film. So I said, okay, we'll produce it and let's move on.
So what was that like? What was that moment like?
It was intense, man. You got one of your heroes you're in front of, and I just left class. You know what I mean? I think I had to go back to class later that night. And I told him about a few films that I was working on. I write a lot, but Fruitvale was one that was absolutely closest to my heart. In many ways, I feel like it was a film I was born to make. He says, "Hey, I want to do it." He looks over at Nina Yang, his producer, says, "Hey, I want to make this movie." Shakes my hand, and he just walks out of the room. so I was like, "Oh man, I gotta hurry up and write the script before he changes his mind."
Started working on it right away. Still trying to finish out graduating.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And I know it was very important to you to make it on as close to the real locations as you could. You really talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the film was a motif. How environments have effects on characters like Oscar, and it kind of came through in writing the script that institutional environments, in the film, the BART station is an institutional environment. The hospital he goes to is an institutional environment. The store where he works at is an institutional environment. These institutional environments, although they're there under the guise of helping people, people call prison a rehabilitation center. You know what I mean? And these places are there. BART is a place where we're supposed to feel safe and take public transit and go to and fro. For characters like Oscar and for people like Oscar, these institutional environments don't help us. Oftentimes they harm us. That became a motif in the film, and seeing him when he's in his domestic environments, seeing him when he's in these environments, and it made sense to me, being from the Bay Area. You know what I mean? Because I can't make a film and look at it and know that it's not real. I have to direct from a place of truth. I gotta tell actors what to do. I gotta tell people what to do with their lives for a certain amount of days. And if I'm not believing it, they'll sense that. So for me, we had to get into the real places, you know what I mean, and let him lay down on the real floor, you know what I mean, let him bump up against the real places, let that real light spill onto him, let them go from there.
Yeah, it informed like all the actors and everyone, I think, being in that real space, even though it was a process to get there, but it was worth it. I think you did an amazing job.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, for you to have believed in it from the beginning and then to see how it turned out, it must be very satisfying.
Yeah, I think the movie is really powerful and important, and I think he's an important filmmaker, and he's going to do amazing films, this one being the first of many. And so for me, it is affirming to feel like, when you go with your instincts and your guts and something means something, and you meet somebody that you feel they're passionate and know they have the right point of view about the universe and that they should be telling stories to help the world. I feel fortunate. I feel blessed that I had the opportunity to be able to produce the first movie that Ryan Coogler is putting out. I think it's it's a blessing, really.
All right.
Means a
That's a
lot.
good place to stop. Okay. Thank you, guys.